What's up? Welcome back to the Just Talking podcast. Oh my gosh, I feel like my voice sounds really weird. Ew, I'm so sorry. Anyways, welcome back. Sorry there was no episode last week. It just didn't happen. I don't even know. But anyways, I remember I skipped. So apologies. But anyways, this week I wanted to talk about the YouTube space basically, and I wanted to start off with how I felt like the social media space has grown and how it started, because I truly believe that the Kardashians completely started the whole social, like, they are the reasons why YouTubers are paid the way they are, because they completely change the way people make money. And so that's just what I want to talk about, specifically just because my Twitter lately has just been blowing up about just YouTube drama on some crazy creators. And so I think that's a really interesting topic to dive into it. So let's get into this. Okay. So, as I kind of just stated, I believe that the Kardashians really basically just started like the reason why any YouTuber ever makes any money. They completely changed what it means to make money, in my opinion. Yeah, there was, Paris Hilton and stuff, but I definitely do not believe that she had as big of an effect, or still has as big of an effect on the space or just the public in general as the Kardashians do. They completely revolutionized how people can have a job. They make money off of the way they live, and they make so much money off the way they live. Granted, they do have many other things that make them all their money, but that show, it's gone on for what? It's like 15 seasons. I don't even know. Probably not even 15. It's probably not in the teens. But like, that show keeps going on and everyone keeps tuning in and they keep making all this money. And it's because people are just interested in the way they live. It's so crazy to me. And so that's why I think it's completely translated into why YouTube and any basic social media platforms become popular and picked up. I mean, yeah, people do love to connect and all that stuff, but I mean, I am not particularly going to YouTube to go watch everyone's family events. Especially nowadays, YouTube is extremely big, and so they're tying in of just a basic trashy family reality TV show turns into these trashy vloggers and all these YouTubers who, there's just this whole section of the world that feed off of other people's lives, like just being curious. Like, who isn't curious about how other people live their life, even if it is made up and they make it seem so real? Which is why I think YouTube is so successful, and which is why I think it's so crazy that I think it's really crazy, all the controversies that come out, that have just come out recently. I think it's gotten out of control as well. The idea that people can just make their own money based off of, the way they live is really self-centering. I think a lot of those vloggers, I mean, they're teenagers, and most of those Calabasas kids are in their early 20s. They're all super they're all just so self-glorified, and their friends, if they're not, I mean, they may not be very narcissistic, but they may be all about, my friends are the best, my friends are this, but they're their friends doing that right back to them. It's a very egotistical business that, stemmed from the Kardashians, obviously. I mean, look at them. They're known for being the egotistical, narcissistic beauty guru, beauty people that just want to run the world and just have all this money. And that's what these vloggers are doing. And they're early 20-year-olds. And so I think this YouTube, like, that's why YouTube and social media picked up in the first place, is because of basic human curiosity. And that huge, I guess, I don't know how much, I guess I shouldn't say huge, but that percentage of the world that just loves watching what other people are doing constantly, it's taking the space and it's destroying it, in my opinion, which is kind of scary because it built up this amazing space and it's slowly destroying itself, and it's supposed to be the future. I would believe that, I mean, these basic social media platforms were designed to kind of keep up with change, and it's why they update every fucking month. It's gross and I hate it. I hate every fucking update to every app, but they want to change. They're pushing change. That's what they want. And so as change continues, those kids get older and their lifestyles get grander and they change as well. And you're seeing these college kids getting paid to get into college, some of them knowing, some of them not, but the ones that knowing are just complete bratty kids. You have the people who end up coming out as they cheated their way, they lied, they're getting arrested for the money that they stole or for the fans that they've ripped off. Freaking TanaCon was a really good example of that. That's kind of like some shady business, you know. Like, it's just the space is growing. I think it's growing too fast for it to be controlled, and then everyone around us is in this weird cancel culture. So no matter, you know, how fast we're moving forward, this cancel culture is always going to be there. So it's going to make, whether we slow down or keep speeding up, I don't know. I feel like we're just speeding up. Everyone's trying to slow down. That's why all these YouTubers are taking breaks, and they're fucking mental health breaks. It's like, you just burned yourself out. Like, why, you know? Like, it's just, I think it's so strange. These people, they're YouTubers and they're really hard workers, but they don't understand, like, the basic, you know, just point of organization. If they ever held, you know, like a normal, you know, fast food job or something like that, like, I just think it's so crazy that all these people that make so much money have to step back and go, I'm burned out, I have to take a break, while the biggest YouTuber on the platform's never, I mean, he's gone on vacation probably, but he's uploaded a video every day, and I've watched that video. I've watched PewDiePie's videos every day, you know? Like, Jenna Marbles, she's posted on schedule unless there's been other circumstances, and at that point it's like, okay, but you've posted every day for years. It's not even that they've been on the platform for, you know, a couple of months like some of these younger kids have been. So it's just really weird to watch this really, really awesome thing that was built off of curiosity and kind of a really self-righteous and narcissistic, you know, thing. It was completely built off of that. It had to be. I mean, people say it's built off connection. That's what you say, that that's why Facebook was created. It's why MySpace was created and blah, blah, blah. But it wasn't used for that. Come on, to be honest with you gotta honestly say, really, you know, people didn't understand what the internet really was until recently. And it's not until now people honestly really understand what stranger danger is. And until then, it was like, what, try and get as much attention as possible. It's why these kids want to become famous. You know, like, anybody can become famous because of this, because of the creation of this. And I honestly, like, that's why it was created. I would think it would be really, really naive to think that all of these platforms were created for some, you know, just to keep in contact with everyone. That, you know, my family and friends, it is in like an innocent sense, you know. I honestly do believe that this was meant to blow up. I just don't think it was meant to blow up so aggressively as it is, because it is really blowing up and biting some people in the ass, and I don't think people were expecting that. along with, you know, the YouTube space just being filled with this weird generation of kids, just self-righteous kids, you know, narcissistic. I think their work ethic is in the right place. I mean, I'm in my early 20s, but I got a job the moment I turned 16. I've known the value of hard work and what it means to pay for my consequences and things like that. So I definitely, you know, understand how to balance my time and schedule. And so to see people around my age, yeah, they're living a way more luxurious lifestyle, but for them to have such a disconnect and such a basic sense of organization of time and business, yeah, you may be in a different world. I just don't think that's a good enough excuse, considering I've watched, you know, YouTube basically since it started. I've seen specific creators since the day they've started, and I've never seen them go through some of the weird traumatic stuff that some of the kids have gone through on YouTube. So I think, so, you know, besides the point that YouTube is full of all these weird ass kids that are just wanting to become famous because everyone wants to become famous, I also think it's created this really dangerous culture of, like, in society, if you're not an influencer and you're taking part of, like, you know, whatever is going on basically on any social media platform, you know, and you're taking a stance, that's not necessarily, like, if you're, I'm not saying there's anything, so, okay, I guess, sorry, backtrack, LOL. I'm getting ahead of my thoughts. But what I'm trying to say is that I think that if you're not an influencer in it all and you're kind of the one, you know, watching it, you know, the society part, the audience part, that's the word, the audience part, LOL. Could not remember that word. And I'm cringing because I just said LOL. Anyways, so, like, the audience, it's created this really dangerous cancel culture. Everyone feels like they need to take a stand, and it needs to be a really aggressive stand, and I think that's really dangerous because people who take aggressive stands aren't always willing to listen to opinion, and a lot of the times those aggressive stands are white racists. So, you know, like, it's kind of fucking weird to see this, you know, the people that we choose to follow. I actually talked to my brother about this the other day, which is why I started talking about this in the first place, but we just need to choose smarter people to follow on social media in general, and who we decide to become famous, who we decide to deem fame upon, because anybody can become famous. But I do think it is really dangerous, the audience that they're creating, because it's literally everyone needs to take a stance on fucking anything. Doesn't matter what it is. And it also, like, you could be a completely normal person and it's just the psychos around you. You could put out your opinion completely normal, and then there's one fucking psycho that is just raging about it because it just specific, I don't even know how to explain it, but I've just run into so many people. I've seen people that I follow. I've had to unfollow so many people because they give me a headache, and I'm like, oh my god, you're not the person that is, like, appropriate to take that stance. You don't need to take that stance. Why is that a necessary stance? I know that there are, like, some arguments that are made online about, like, I really, really, really do not understand the people who specifically look for the really, really bad in people who have obviously, like, changed. So I guess this is coming from a very YouTuber's perspective, but there's that Shane Dawson controversy. There's obviously the PewDiePie controversies. I mean, if you look in celebrity controversies, I mean, Kevin Hart literally lost a job because of some tweets that he made so long ago, and it's so obvious that he's not, like, I shouldn't talk specifically about YouTubers because, you know, I feel like if people, I feel like there is such a disconnect with the world and social media as a whole, let alone YouTube, the YouTube world, because I feel like a lot of people are, they know Facebook and they know Instagram. I feel like those are the basics, and they know they know how to work YouTube, but not everyone loves YouTube. Not everyone knows creators. A lot of people are TV watchers. So I mean, going from celebrity standpoints, Kevin Hart is just the latest controversy, and I mean, you look at him, he's a comedian. Of course he said some fucking dumbass shit, and he's apologized for it. That's the other thing, is that there are obvious statements of him apologizing, but this cancel culture, this really aggressive cancel culture, is they just go out and they find it and they refuse to even think of, let alone if it's the truth. They'll, even if they're like, no, I apologize for when it happens, I bet you anything half those people, before they even check, are like, no, he didn't, I didn't see that. Okay, he said that back in a couple of years ago. It was a long ass time ago, I'm pretty sure. I actually remember listening to them on his comedy, on some of his comedy stuff, and just going through Pandora. So, it was years ago, and I saw the tweets of him apologizing, but I didn't even think anything of it. I guess I'm not as sensitive as many people, but it's just, yeah, social media has breeded this very sensitive, in a very misplaced, it's a misplaced sensitivity, and I don't know if it's sincere or not, because it doesn't seem sincere. That was a kind of a long rant, and it was kind of all over the place, so I do apologize, because I immediately just jumped straight into that. Oh my god, ew. I'm trying to avoid saying let's jump into it, specifically because of the meme, because fuck that meme. But oh my god. But yeah, and I spoke really fast because I am kind of in a hurry, and I had a lot of thoughts to get out. So sorry if this was kind of all over the place, but the basics of the story is that the Kardashians are completely the reason why YouTube is successful, in my opinion. They redefined how to make money. They make money off of the way that they live, out of people's basis of curiosity. And if you hate them, they're still making money because you went and watch their show or the clips of their show anyways to go hate them. So because of that curiosity, it created this platform of YouTube and social media in general. But I specifically do YouTube because of all the controversies I've been seeing on my Twitter of Shane Dawson and his weird cat fucking thing, which is so weird. But it's created this kind of toxic, these influencers that we're choosing to follow. It's more very narcissistic based and very, all about me, I'm making money on my own time, and they're not really, it's these young creators that are coming in and kind of ruining what the old creators created, because the young ones are hardworking, but they're not understanding what the old ones have created, that have basically, laid out for them, and I think they're gonna destroy it, so that's kind of scary. But I honestly, there's tons of them though that really could pull it through and are pulling it smart, because I also do think that YouTube will end and it will transfer into YouTube 2.0 or something like that, a better version. But this is definitely not the final draft of what YouTube can be, or the basis of where you get video entertainment. Because to be honest, I don't know another website that I would ever go to watch videos for a creator, unless it's like Twitch, but that's live streaming, and you can live stream on YouTube, and a lot of the times the YouTuber that I want to watch is live streaming on YouTube. So it's not even it's just, I don't know, it's a useful platform that just can get better, but it's kind of sucks right now because of the people running it. And so that kind of leads into, we need to choose better people to run it. And then basically my last point was kind of just flipping it to the audience side, so splitting it into three parts of how it started, the influencers, and the audience. And basically, because of the way that the influencers run their accounts and speak and act, and the way that it's set up, it's created this really aggressive cancel culture that people need to feel specifically offended, or they need to take aggressive stances on things that they either have no experience in, don't really like need to say anything about. It's not their place, it's not the time, that type of attitude. Or the people that deliberately, you know, go after people that are being really successful, and yet it's very obvious that what they're being called out for is not the issue, because there have been people that have been called out for it. I guess I should make that really clear. There have been tons of people that in this cancel culture that have been called out for very intense things that have ended up being completely true, but it's the ones where it's like the Kevin Hart controversy. There was an entire community. There's like the whole LGBTQ plus community just saying that Kevin Hart, you know, hates them. That's kind of intense, you know. And when I'm pretty sure directly after that, you know, it was just so obvious that was not the main issue of the problem. But yeah, I guess it's the fronting of, you know, tearing down people's success, to use that as a front, to, you know, showcase their mistakes and use their mistakes as a front for their, you know, second agendas. So thank you for tuning in. I know that was a lot of information, and if you really have, like, I love talking about this. I have a lot of other things to say, but to be honest with you, it's kind of just going into more of the specifics of, like, I guess talking to you about, you know, like what's going on in the YouTube space, but also, like, I would love to hear theories about where you think. Well, I would love to hear theories. One, if you agree with me about the Kardashians, or if you think it started somewhere else, or if you think my reason for, like, social media is completely off. Because I do truly think that, like, social media was created for the narcissistic and not for the, you know, the feel good. Like, I want to be connected with my family. Like, I want to show my daughter's ballet classes, and so I truly do not believe that. Even if it was, like, Facebook was started on a college campus for the use of information, but, like, I think the point of making it public was for kind of this, like, other outlet to find, you know, it's just like this human curiosity of, like, I think I can reach a ton of people. I don't think people were expecting to make money, but I think people are very, very happy they were to make money. I feel like that was kind of backtracked what I said. It's kind of a hard thing to explain, which I feel like I want to talk about this topic more with probably someone else who, like, really understands social media in this space, and kind of pick their brain on if they think it's going in the right direction. So, like, yeah, let me know. Also, let me know what you think about all of the influencers, like the big ones that run it. I definitely do pull opinions based on the ones that I'm watching, but I do think that the ones that I'm watching are pretty scattered, and that what they talk about is pretty all over the place, and they bring a lot of recognition to a lot of other YouTubers on the platform. So, and also let me know if you agree with me on the audience thing, and if this cancel culture is as serious as it looks to me, because I think it looks absolutely terrifying. Everyone's so aggressive to each other on Twitter. Everyone needs to freaking, you know, give their life, be passionate about something, and sometimes it's not your time or place, girl. So, you know, sit down. You'll find your time. You'll find your place. Just chill the fuck out. I just don't get it. I don't get why everyone just has to be so upset all the time. As I'm pretty sure this whole podcast sounded like I was, like, yelling at the mic, because I feel like my voice sounds weird. So thank you for listening, especially if you listened through this whole thing. Leave your comments below, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next week.